Good afternoon. I'm Lily Tokoro, and welcome to the Voices of Japan 311 commemorative exhibit.
I am Alex Feliciano. We are both ASIJ students and leaders of the high school club English Circle.
English Circle with the Japan Center and PTA is hosting this 10th year anniversary event.
Today, we'll be your guides to the exhibit. Before we take you through the exhibit, we want to introduce to you English Circle. English Circle was initially known as English Playground, which was an organization funded by alumni and donations from international schools. It intended to create a safe space for children who were nuclear refugees from Fukushima, relocated to Tokyo who were traumatized from the events of 3/11. ASIJ high school students were able to create strong connections with these children, and this bond led to English Playground becoming a more established club within the school, now known as English Circle. Today, English Circle seeks to provide the children with the opportunity to learn English, and we can continue to teach and tutor virtually.
Now, after almost a decade since English Circle was started, we have maintained this bond and have created a community within the high school volunteers and the families who were affected by the triple disaster. A few years ago, our club took a trip to the Tohoku region and we saw firsthand the effects of the disaster. It was a truly eye-opening experience for all of us, and we have become committed now more than ever to continue providing that safe space English Circle was built upon. We have always met with the children twice a month to conduct English lessons and play fun games, and we have continued this despite the recent pandemic by shifting to online lessons. Welcome to the Voices from Japan exhibit. This is an exhibit of tanka written by survivors of and witnesses to the disasters of March 11, 2011. Over the course of 6 months in 2012, ASIJ students and teachers met some of the tanka poets. Excerpts from these conversations and photos of these visits are also part of the exhibit.
Voices from Japan was made possible with the collaboration of Isao and Kyoko Tsujimoto of the Studio for Cultural Exchange. We hope that through the exhibition of these words and photos, that your interest in Japan, tanka, and the events of 10 years ago will increase, as well as your commitment to the reconstruction of spaces and lives that were forever altered on March 11, 2011. No wonder the disastrous events of March 11, 2011, and the months that followed have inspired so many contemporary Japanese to respond in poetry. Since the Great Eastern Japan earthquake and tsunami on March 11, 2011, and the subsequent nuclear disasters, many affected people in Tohoku and other concerned Japanese started writing poems. Why do the Japanese write poems during a time of crisis? Voices from Japan are usually not very audible in the world, but when Japanese voices are composed as tanka, amazingly, one can hear them as a common world language. Thank you to Professor Laurel Rod of the University of Colorado Boulder for her scholarship.
Here are just a few examples of the Voices from Japan exhibit that connect us with the common world language and the events of 3/11.
After seismic tremors greater than 6 at my parents' place, I call my father and mother. It rings 10 times, 11 times. Terror at no response. After seismic tremors greater than 6 at my parents' place, I call my father and mother. It rings 10 times, 11 times. Terror at no response.
震度6強の実家に父母はいる。呼び出し音10回、11回、答えぬ恐怖。震度6強の実家に父母はいる。呼び出し音10回、11回、答えぬ恐怖。
Panting as I climbed up the incline, I sighted my mother's back in the hallway of the relocation center. Panting as I climbed up the incline, I sighted my mother's back in the hallway of the relocation center.
喘ぎつつ遡り来て避難所の廊下に見つけし母の後ろ姿で喘ぎつつ遡り来て避難所の廊下に見つけし母の後ろ姿で
If my wailing could return everything to what it once was, I'd weep until my eyes were swollen shut. If my wailing could return everything to what it once was, I'd weep until my eyes were swollen shut.
号泣して元の形に戻るなら 目まなこ潰れる。号泣して元の形に戻るなら目まなこ潰れる。